Welcome to the Nutley Cisco Academy podcast. Today we are discussing AM and FM radio. I am your host, Matthew, and we have Eod, Sean, and Godwin here today. So, Sean, what is AM radio and what does it stand for?
AM radio stands for amplitude modulation, and it is a method of audio transmission that was first successfully carried out in the mid-1870s.
Fascinating. So, Godwin, what's FM radio?
FM radio is abbreviated for frequency modulation. It was developed in the United States of America in the 1930s, mainly by Edwin Howard Armstrong.
Wonderful. So, Eod, what is the difference between AM and FM radio? I know that AM has poor sound quality, but are there any other differences?
The frequency, AM has a longer frequency than FM, but FM has a better sound quality than AM.
So what you're saying is that AM can travel further, but FM has clearer sound.
Yeah.
Neat. So,
Indeed.
what's modulating differences, Sean?
It's pretty much changing, in AM's case, is changing the amplitude, while FM is frequency modulation, so it changes the frequencies instead of the amplitude.
Neat. So, what came first, guys? AM or FM radio?
FM radio.
AM.
AM.
AM actually came first.
AM.
It was developed about 100 years before FM radio.
60 years, actually.
Well, we round up here. All right. So, I've heard about this guy called Howard Stern. He's on America's Got Talent nowadays. So, who is he? And I hear he's important to FM radio.
He had his own talk show. It was called The Howard Stern Show. It gained popularities it was first made in 1986 and it stopped in 2005.
Is he a comedian?
He's a comedian. He's on American Got Talent. He's the guy with, he usually wears glasses and has the curly hair.
Very, very cool.
He's very vocal on the show. So, what is more susceptible to noise, like white noises? So, like things get like distorted in your radio. What's more susceptible to AM or FM radios?
FM radios.
I'd say
AM.
AM.
Yeah.
Because noise affects amplitude, and AM is the change in amplitude, so it would be more affected in FM. But FM frequencies can't travel through walls and has shorter range, so there's pros and cons to both.
So, what are the frequency ranges of AM and FM radios?
The AM radio ranges from 530 to 1,700 kilohertz, or up to 1,200 bits per second. The FM radio ranges in higher spectrum from 88 to 108 megahertz, or 1,200 to 2,400 bits per second.
So, I imagine this higher spectrum would allow higher sound quality, which is pretty neat.
Which of the two cannot travel through walls?
That would be AM radio, right?
FM.
Sorry. All right. So how does radio work? We've been talking about AM and FM radios the entire time, but how exactly do radios work?
The process involves electricity traveling through the transmitters and recording one's voice.
Once electricity travels to the transmitter, it creates radio waves. These radio waves travel to your radios and it vibrates the electrons inside and thus produces sound, which is commonly known as our music, which is pretty neat. Have we discussed what AM radio stands for? We discussed what it does, but we haven't discussed what it actually stands for itself.
Yeah, we said that AM stands for amplitude modulation, and FM stands for frequency modulation.
All right. And we have discussed what AM is to FM. It has poor sound quality. AM is actually cheaper than FM, and it can be translated over long distances, as we said. And it has a lower bandwidth, so it can have more stations available on the frequency range. FM is less prone to interference than AM. However, FM signals are impacted by the physical barriers, which I forgot before. And AM has better sound quality due to the higher bandwidth, which in turn allow less radio stations.
Okay, so what's more popular today, FM or AM?
FM radio is more popular today, but there's still a few AM channels.
I agree. More FM channels are for music because of the better sound quality, and AMs are for people who do talk shows because they prefer that more.
And it reaches a larger audience as well,
Yes.
because the AM has the longer distances, right?
Yep.
Neat. Alrighty. Well, that's all the time we got for today. Thank you for coming to the Not Little Cisco Academy podcast, and we will see you all later.